Chuck Crosby over at the Crosby Law Offices. Guys, feel free to jump in. Sandy sent us an email. He says, my boyfriend and I put an offer in on a house July 14th. It was accepted on the 15th. We've been signing documents after documents. Well, we all know that if you're going to purchase a home, there are documents you got to sign. And then they were sending things back and forth the same day the bank requested it. They've been doing everything right, paid for the appraisal, inspection, packed up 80% of the apartment, told the landlord they'd be out on August 30th since things were moving so quickly. Even Sandy said she put a transfer in for her job to be able to work closer to her new house. Closing date was supposed to be August 25th. Now, here's where it gets crazy, folks. Apparently, the homeowner is now refusing to close on the house. He actually lives in New York City, and he thinks he can just refuse to close, and he can keep the house himself. We've been told it's too late for him to pull out at this point. At least that's what Sandy says. She's wondering, has anyone ever dealt with anything like this? What was the outcome? And the heads are spinning at this point. Chuck, what would you suggest that Sandy and her boyfriend do at this point?
Well, at this point, if he's refusing, I mean, if we've gotten to I will not do this, it's time to bring in the attorneys. You want to get some nasty letters out, let them know what's going on. You have a couple of options. First option is going to be suing for specific performance, making him, getting the court to tell him you have to do this. However, a residential property, I can't even remember the last time that was successful. Generally with residential, you don't get that. So that basically results in you're looking for a money judgment. How do you determine what your damages are to get there? Now, everything you've mentioned is generally considered incidental or hypothetical. You can't sue for hypothetical damages. What they have to do then is if he absolutely refuses, find another place, same kind. And if, say, their contract was for 100,000 with this guy, and they go and they buy another place that's similar for 120,000, 20,000 is then their damages. Now, my bet is their attorney will add in all that other stuff, plus all the time and aggravation and whatnot. But technically, those are hypothetical damages, and you really can't get those. I've seen this done. It does happen. But at this point, she wants to get the attorney and start sending the nasty letters, and then they'll set up a closing. They'll show up, and when he doesn't, that's the trigger.
Yeah, and that's the legal side, right? But in practicality, in reality, in practice, we've seen that happen in our own world, right? Where the seller, we get there, and like Chuck always likes to say, is, and most attorneys, is what are your actual damages and what is hypothetical. You put in the transfer for the work. Okay, is that really a damage? You've hired the movers, and now you have to cancel them. You paid $50 cancellation fee. Is that really a damage? And do you want to pay attorney's fees and fight to really get into that home? Is that going to cost you more? And Chuck, can you write off attorney's fees as damage?
Not unless the contract says so. Okay. In Kentucky, each party bears their own fees unless there's something written to the contrary. The practical aspect of this is this doesn't happen much.
Correct.
Okay. Most people just go about their way and find another house. However, it's out there. And guy in New York may not know this is a practical thing. I don't know what they do up there. But also you're going to have some jurisdictional issues getting him served.
That's true.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems with doing it. And that's why most people just kind of go on. I like to point out that the contract is a legal binding document. It has teeth, but it's only as strong as you're willing to use it. If you're willing to go to the mat, you got plenty there. If you're not willing to go to the mat, it's paper and ink.
That's all it is. And we've actually seen that happen as well. But you're right. It is rare. Hopefully the guy comes to his senses, Sandy, and you're able to close on your house. If you'd like to find out what your home is worth instantly, head to welovelouisville.com. That's welovelouisville.com. Enter your information, hit send, and we'll get you an instant report, almost instantly.